circumstances, the seasons, or the wind. But you can certainly change yourself. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind. But you can certainly change yourself. Toastmaster, say that.
Thank you, Toastmaster, dear topic master. You cannot change the circumstances that you face in life. And I had a first-hand example of this. 2 years back, when I was in my final year of engineering, we just completed our last exam, and we had a festival in my college. So while I was leaving, I was very excited because I was coming back to Saudi Arabia for my holidays. Now, when we were leaving the college, there was an arm wrestling competition. And one of my friends registered my name in the arm wrestling competition. So I took part in the arm wrestling competition. And my contestant was a lean fellow whom I thought I could beat without a problem. Because at that time I used to work out. And I thought I was really strong and well built. Now, as it turns out, I was winning. But then all of a sudden, my arm just cracked. And I broke my bone. There was an audience all around, and everyone was shocked. They didn't know what was happening. And I didn't realize that my hand was broken until I started moving it, and it started wobbling. My friends had to carry and lift my arm and take me to the hospital. The doctor wouldn't believe that I actually broke my arm by arm wrestling. He actually thought I got into a fight. Only did he realize when he saw my arm and there was no external injury that I did in fact break my arm by arm wrestling. Now I was in my final semester of engineering, and I could have easily given up. I could have easily taken my exams on the fact that I'd broken my arm. I could have taken a medical leave. But I think this was a turning moment in my life where I realized that I was supposed to go to Saudi Arabia that evening, and I couldn't because my arm was broken, and I didn't really expect it. And sometimes you're put in circumstances which you have to face, and that's the fact of life. And as it turns out, I did the exams, and I would say that that was the best ever results I ever got in my entire engineering. Thank you.
If you have a battle between heart and mind, will you go with heart or mind? Your comments, Toastmaster Shubham.
The mind always tells what is in it for you. The heart always tells what is good for you. Mr. Taylor, Master, Toastmasters, and yes, they are very good team. Let us be practical. As Andy Rajan says, we are in Saudi Arabia to make money. In fact, we are in this world to succeed. The very reason that we are standing here and attending a Toastmasters session is to succeed in life. So, there are many times we go by what the mind says. Mind is incisive. It applies logic. There is no place for emotions in the mind. It tells you, yes, do this, you will come up in life. And many a time, that is exactly what we do. But there are some great people in this world who can ignore what the mind says and go by what the heart says. Let us take the case of Mother Teresa. From Romania, she came and settled down in Calcutta. She had foregone a great life and lived amongst the slums, the slum children, and devoted her life to the upbringing of the downtrodden. There, I'm sure her mind would have said not to do this and go back to her own country where she could have led a better life. But she went by what her heart said. That is the greatness. Greatness is when you know the mind is right. The mind is telling you what is good for you, but yet you go by your heart because it is good for the whole nature. That is the sign of greatness.
Get your future from your future, not your past.
Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, good evening and Assalamu alaikum. I just want to differ from this create your future with the experience of your past and whatever you have things available with you in the present, and then march to the future. This is what I feel. Because every person plans for the future. But unless he take some lesson from the mistake, what he has committed or what he has seen other people committed, he will not be able to reap, or he will not be able to accelerate the rate of his advance in the future. And the present, you should not forget. You should not forget the people who are with him, who are really his well-wishers. Because these are the people, today, they are behind you. But tomorrow, you have to see that you have to bring them up and let them go much advanced than you. So this imagination you have to create before you can plan. And with these two things, I think you can have a better future with success at your own.
Master and fellow Toastmasters and distinguished. We already know about our emotions, and we know about logic due to calculations. So, what is the source of these two things? These are two poles of two. It's like a pendulum when you see two extremes. The logic is actually it's something related to the scientists or accountants, chartered accountants, or even people they calculate things. When we are more emotional, the logic goes behind, takes a backseat drive. That is from the heart. Your heart really brings you joy. Sometimes spontaneous joy. And when we have happiness, you have to remember that the sadness is the next course of action that is going to take. Because these two things is the duality that exists in this world. Happiness, sadness, up, down. So, the spring, the bottom of the emotions that comes from the heart. So you have to be distinguishing, you have to understand this particular and very basic fundamental that the happiness that brings you joy will bring you sadness as well. It could be the next moment, it could be the next day, but that is inevitable. Over to
99% of all failures come from the people who have the habit of making excuses. So table topic master and fellow Toastmasters, good evening. Good evening. I quite agree that 99% of people that fail are those who take excuses. Even though we know that for us to succeed in life, for us to have an enjoying success, we need to learn from experience. Most of the time, such experience are from our failures. One of my great legends of the basketball, Michael Jordan, he said that the reason why he is so great is that because he failed several times in his life. He couldn't make it to his college basketball team. They said he was too short. They said he was not strong. They told him a lot of reasons that would have discouraged him to go back. But because he is so determined that he would become the great player that he meant to be, he tried to work out with all sorts of weaknesses that were mentioned for him. He didn't take it for success. And that's the reason why Michael Jordan is regarded as one of the greatest basketball players that ever lived. So I quite agree that those people that fail are those that take excuses. But those that succeed